All right, it's that time again. It's that time where I figure out whether I want to buy in a set or invest in a set. And this time we're talking about that time I got reincarnated as a slime, volume 2. Again, just to reiterate my thought process here, is I will buy every set of Weiss Schwarz that come out. Pretty sure that's going to still true. I don't know if there's going to be a set one day that just I really don't want, but if I bought Mob Psycho, I'm definitely going to be buying a lot of other things. So, what I do then is the investment part again, what that actually means, so everybody knows clearly, this is not about short term buying and selling. Right? I don't want people to do that, and I would never tell you to do that. So, what long term to me is years, right? I'm in it for the long haul unless conditions somewhat change, right? You can't just stick to that philosophy if things start changing, like a reprint. So the idea here for me is, again, I buy sets to have for myself, but then at the same time, I look to invest because I know they will go up in the future. That's just how it works with these products. And I look to determine that through a checklist. And what I look through is the actual anime following, the strength of the set, the playability of it. I look at the previous sets, I look at the SPs on our Japanese versions, and now I start looking at supply just because of what we've been seeing with Weiss Schwarz. So, with that said, I am going to go into this. Here is the product page for that time I got reincarnated as a slime, volume 2. A lot of these titles are really wordy. And I love this part. Acquiring unique skill, Weiss Schwarz, successful. So if you watch the anime, you'll know what that actually means. It was a good anime. If you didn't watch it, check it out. It is on Crunchyroll. So it is available for you. Sign cards, they are back. They're here to stay for slime. They're not back. They've always been here, right? They didn't go away. And plus side is the cards are nice, so having the sign cards is very, very good. Right? And then you'll also have a playmat inside if you buy a case. Again, this is first print run only. I know someone asked me before. When Data Live had a reprint, you didn't get a mat on that reprint. It's only for the first print run only. And being that it's a volume 2, there was a booster box and a trial deck. No trial deck for volume 2. Let's just take a look at a couple of the cards. So Weiss Schwarz always does the card of the day. They're doing the same thing with this as well. So some pretty nice cards. We got Shion here. We got Rimuru, Renga, Shana, Benimaru, and my favorite, Milim. I love her. She's so great. And there's a lot of other people that love her because you could see it in the prices. Right? I always find it amazing when an SP card is more expensive than an well, in this case, SSP card. Just because of, I think of this whole rarity to it. This rarity that, my SSP up here should be more rare than this and more wanted. How about that? It should be more wanted than that SP card. But if you take a look at the prices here, and again, I know this is in yen and it's not one for one, but I'm going to just go with one for one. Milim is the top one, 298. So she's solid. And let's just get a closer look at these cards. SSP, we got two of them, but that's a cool card. And I know what you're thinking, but I like the drawing. Look at that. She put the little horn in there. It's pretty awesome. Got the heart. I love these signatures. I don't know who. I know who does them. It's how did they come up with it? Because, do you ever sign your name and then try to make it fancy? How long did it take you to make it look cool or not cool? Can you imagine signing it? I know people don't do checks that much anymore, but actually sign your checks with something like this. Can you imagine that? And then whoever gets it, they're looking at your name and like, what the heck? Does that actually count as a signature? No, I'm being serious here on a check. Like if I if I were to sign my name like this, that's my signature. It looks like that. I could only imagine what people would think. But as long as it's valid, right? That'd be cool. And got off track. Anyways, Milim, it's pretty neat, and I like this one. Like this one, you got a little cloud person here. So overall, the SPs look really good. The signatures are here, and that's awesome because that brings a lot. That's going to bring a lot of value, for sure. That Milim is definitely going to be one of the ones that people are chasing. Let me just. I want to look at the price one more time. Wow, dang, that's only. Is that the lowest? I thought that was a cool card, but everybody got different preferences. Me personally, if it's going to be this low, then I'm definitely going to buy some of them. Right? I know it's not going to be 60. More than likely, if I had to guess, this thing will eventually land at 120, 140. That would be my guess. If it goes if it goes under 100, if it's under 100, more than likely there's just a ton of supply and nobody wanting it. But there is a bottom limit to that, and I'm sure at $100 this thing will be bought. I think it's just a cool card. So, me personally. Next thing I take a look at is the anime following. So, anime wise, Slime definitely has a lot of people. It scores really high. We have this many members. The part twos, not as much as followed on this site, anyways. But overall, the series is loved, I would say. Popularity 103, ranked 425. Popularity, you can see, blah, blah, blah. All good. Great. Awesome. So we know that overall, JP prices for Signs of Hell, we know that the anime itself is one of those ones that people love. And next thing I'm going to take a look at is the strength of the set. As always, I always say this, is there are deck reviews out there. So first one I look at is always PGH Weiss Schwarz. Check them out. They got deck reviews. They have card reviews, and they do put out deck techs. The latest one being about an hour ago, and that was for Fate. So check that out. We also have here Strictly Broken. So there is a tier list that actually includes Slime Volume 2 in there as well. There's a bunch of discussions towards the later end of the video. I'm not going to show the tier list because obviously I don't own it, and you should check it out yourself. You know, you should watch this video, you should like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, so check it out. This set is pretty strong. I will say that myself. What I'm actually looking forward to is this. Before I say which one I'm looking forward to, I never actually talk about Encore decks. So if you haven't checked out Encore decks, it's pretty awesome. It's where, you know, people put up their decks. Like you could put your name here and all that good stuff and what it actually does. 8 choice, 8 choice. So there's a lot of 8 choice if you haven't seen it. And that one actually does look pretty fun to play. So this one right here, this one's from Paru. Paru. You'll hear his name a lot, so if you watch certain videos, but this deck right here is out there. Which one? That's hilarious because I wanted to pick the 8 choice. I'm looking at this and I'm like, that's not the 8 choice. Here's the 8 choice. That didn't look like 8 choice at all. So this is 8 choice. You'll see a lot of this climax being used, Nameless Story. It's a pretty good one. I don't think... I haven't looked at all the decks, but I believe the majority of decks will end up using it. So, because of the 8 choice. But the one I'm going to go with, so here is Gate Pants, and this uses the Chloe and the Anti-Magic Mask. Anti-Magic Mask is getting a print in PR this time. So that's pretty nice for people that don't have an Anti-Magic Mask. But the sucky part is, it's a PR, so there's going to be some supply out there, but at the same time, if collectors just buy that up, that's going to be more expensive than you think it is. The one I'm going to go with Platinum Points Pants Choice. I like Choice. I think it'll be a lot of fun as well. And you get to use some of the old cards from back then. A lot of them use Rubaru Tempest. You'll be able to use the Chloe anti-magic mask. So, and then we got this one here. The only problem is, for people that don't know, is this set is good. I think it's one of those ones that it's like Fate, where it is pretty powerful, but you need to have some of the cards from the past set. I think you will be able to play this set without having Volume 1. Again, it's not going to be as competitive, but it is doable. You could still play with it. Obviously, to get the max potential out of this set, you're going to want to have Volume 1. The, the unfortunate part is Volume 1 came out July 31st, 2020. Right, so it came out. It's a cool looking box too if you just take a look at it. Pretty sweet. Again, it had a bunch of signs and it had that trial deck that I was talking about. Here's where the problem actually lies. That time I got Reincarnated as Slime is freaking expensive. And I mean freaking expensive. What you're looking at here is the double rares. So if you noticed on some of these decks, right, use this child on the inside Milim. There's only one that you need it, and most of them run one. I've seen with two as well. So one or two, you're not going to need a full stack of four, which is plus side, right? Because that card right now is $15 without shipping. Oh no, this one includes shipping. So $15. But if you take a look at all these different cards here, some of them are expensive, and this is not all of them, right? Like when I talked about the anti-magic mask, that actually came from the trial deck itself, right? So here is the trial deck. Anti-magic mask $9. I know back in the day it was five-ish, six-ish. So it has gone up because of this new volume that's coming out. Rimuru Tempest, again, you saw that in some of the decks. You will also see, there was another one in here that you need. Oh, but that one's 25 cents. Summoning Tempest Wolves, Gopta. And that would be it. I think those are the big ones. So, anti-magic mask, you need that if you're going to play decks like this, Pants Choice or Gate Pants. And the other part of that is, if you wanted to pull it yourself, if you wanted to pull it out of the trial deck, hopefully you get an SP. You're most likely not going to do it. These trial decks are through the roof expensive. 170. This is what's nuts. Look at these numbers right here. That's nuts. But even worse, if you thought that was bad, take a look at eBay. 2 available, 9 sold, price $250. I don't know if the price was always $250, but as you can see here, there was 9 sold. And there you go. It wasn't $250, but at this time now it is. Yikes! Someone bought it for $150, and I mean, good reason. If you really wanted it at $170, you might as well buy it at $150. But $250, that's all you're looking at this point. And that is it. There you go. Almost gone. I would not buy it for $250. That is nuts. Do not do that. Actually, you do whatever you want with your money. If you're rich, feel free. The SPs from that set were pretty... I always say this because I don't know if you all believe me or not, but I bring up these links. Like, I'm not joking here. So I save these links. This is how I do it. I save these links and I just open them and start this video. There's not like a script or something here that I'm reading off. So when I bring this up, I tend to see these prices for the first time. I mean, when I took that URL, I took it, and sometimes I look, but in this case, I didn't. Right? I just open the page, get the link, paste it there. Someone actually has this for $10,000. I know it's not going to sell for $10,000, and they're just putting it out there for hope, I guess, or or just to show off. I don't freaking know, but good lord, that's a, that's a lot. Dang man. Okay, and then you got Milim down here for a grand, Shenna with it for a grand. Yeah, as you can see, the SP is good, basically gone at this point. I don't know about you, but just my opinion here. If you own that card, and I don't want to open, I don't want to open it and show the person's name. Obviously, you could just go in there and do it, but would you be weirded out if someone actually bought it for 10,000? Like, let's say you put it up there as like a joke or to show off, and someone actually bought it for 10,000. Do you think you would be? I would be scared that someone actually bought it, because then I'm like, are they gonna scam me? Are they gonna say it's Ben or something, and then you're gonna have to insure it and put tons of protection? I don't know. Like, I think as a joke price, if someone actually buys it that joke price, I would be actually more worried about being scammed that, like they're just going to take my card. To wrap it all up, let's just review everything that we talked about. The anime itself and the following that goes with it is pretty strong, right? We saw from my anime list, there is a pretty decent following. Merchandise overall for this sells pretty well. And we see the volume 1 SPs are pretty expensive. So people are buying it again, more than likely not to play with, but as to just for their own personal collection because they love this anime. So for me personally, anime gets 5 stars. I think it's awesome. Meta strength, as we saw with PGH Weiss Schwarz and Strictly Broken, it is a really good set when you consider it jamming them in with the volume 1, right? And again, I say you need to jam them together with the volume 1. You need some cards, you don't need them all, but those cards are expensive. Even though it's a con, when we talk about the playability, the strength of this actual deck, it's going to be good. So overall, 5 stars. Volume 2 strength, as I said, you need to have some of those volume 1s. It's getting expensive. They're starting to disappear. So due to that, I'm giving that a 3 star. It's still viable to play with volume 2. It's like Heaven's Feel 2. It's going to be okay. Heaven's Feel 2 got a 2 star. So Slime is definitely a lot better than Heaven's Feel 2, and that's why it's getting a 3. But overall, what I'm going to look to do is, me personally, I would invest in this. And again, investment, just so you know, again, is not 3-4 months. That's years. I'm looking at years. This is a good IP, and I intend to hold on to it. So long-term hold. Playsets. You've heard me say time and time again, I do not buy playsets personally. I buy singles, and that holds true in this case. For me, personally, I would be buying singles because of the SPs to the right, right? These SPs are going to be sought after. People are going to rip open boxes in order to get these signed cards and sell them to people. There's going to be cards available on the market because some people that are doing this could care less about the other cards. But I will say in this scenario that play sets could be okay. And the reason I say that is I do not believe the supply of this stuff is going to be 7 Deadly Sins supply, where there's just a lot of it. We also know that cards go down towards the beginning, right? So second, third, fourth week of the product release. But eventually they go back, depending on how much supply there is. And since this set is actually playable, and if you question the amount of supply that's going to be out there, in this scenario, you could be okay buying a playset. So that is my caveat there. I think it's actually one of these sets that a playset would actually be decent. But again, because there are so many sellers out there, you can wait. You can wait to see if you want to buy it or just pre-order ahead of time. I think in this scenario, pre-ordering it may be something good, depending on what price it is. Okay, so overall, this is going to be one of those knockout sets in the future, current term, whatever. It's going to be pretty cool, and I think some people are going to miss out on it just because of everything that's happened to this point. Like, let's say Kaguya, Seven Deadly Sins, Heaven's Feel. And maybe just overall, there's been so many sets out there that you can't just put money into everything, right? But overall, great set. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. And I'll be trying out Platinum Points version of the deck. So hope you all have a good one. I will see you again for the next version of this video, which would be the Quince. I'm so excited for Quince. It's going to be awesome. But how the product is going to come out in terms of the quintessential set and all that, and all the different rarities of cards, that'll be a fun ride. So see you then.